Good morning. Today we see sexual reproduction. Okay. In topic number 3, sexual reproduction. What is meant by sexual reproduction? In earlier video, we discussed it involved two gametes. Two gametes are involved. Which two gametes? Male and female gametes. These two gametes are take part in a sexual reproduction. These two gametes are known as both gametes are known as germ cells. In sexual reproduction, there are two steps. In a first step, there is a formation of gamete. By meiosis process, gametes are formed. In meiosis, chromosome numbers are divided to half. That means, suppose there are two number of chromosomes are there. These two chromosomes in meiosis divided into its a half, that is the n number. So they are divided two halves. Okay. Hence, these two cells are known as a haploid. Means this one is a diploid cell, and in meiosis haploid cell is formed. Haploid gamete is formed. Then after that, second stage is the fertilization. In fertilization, the zygote is formed. Means male haploid and female haploid fuse together and then form the zygote. Then what is formed? Zygote. They form the zygote. This zygote then by mitosis division, convert into or develop into the embryo. Okay. This embryo then develop into new individual. Thus, after fertilization, the new individual is formed. What happens? In this, the male haploid and female haploid cell from the 50% characters from male and the 50% characters from female are transferred into the new individuals. So what happens? That is why the individual is not exactly similar to the male or not exactly similar to the female. There is some characters are similar to the male and some characters are similar to the female. That's why in this type, what happens? The new individuals are produced that is the different than the male and female. That's why it is known as a variation. Means sexual reproduction brings about the variation. So that is why, due to that variation, organism diversity is take place in a genetic characteristics. There is difference, there are variations. So genetic variation helps. This genetic variation helps in the organism. So due to that variation, the organism are developed that can be grow or can be live or can be adapt in a changing environment, and so they maintain their existence. Okay. So these are the two main important steps in a sexual reproductions. Then after that, we are going to see sexual reproduction in a plant. Sexual reproduction in plants. In plant, flower is sexual organ. It is called as a sexual organ. It is a bisexual. It is bisexual organ. Why it is called bisexual? Because that flower contain male and female organs. Flower consists four. It consists four floral holes. How many? Four. Which are those four floral holes? It contains calyx and corolla. These calyx and corolla are called as a non-essential floral holes, and second one are the androecium and gynoecium. They are called as the essential floral holes. Why they are called essential and non-essential? Androecium and gynoecium are called essential because they take part in a sexual reproduction. Take part in sexual reproduction, and that is why they are important. So they are called the essential. But calyx and corolla, they are not essential. They are not taking part in the sexual reproduction. Okay. Flower is some flower is called as the unisexual. These flowers which contain androecium and the gynoecium are called as a bisexual. Flower may be bisexual or may be unisexual. Which are bisexual? Which contain both male and the female organs. Means which contain androecium and gynoecium. They are known as a bisexual. And unisexual, which contain only one organ in their part. Okay. Let's see the diagram. Suppose here, see. In flower, this is the stalk. This was the stalk like part. This stalk is called as a pedicel. It is called as a pedicel. Then above the pedicel, this green color part is there. That is called as a calyx. This green color part cover or protect the flower parts when it is in a bud condition. It is in a bud condition. Then above these green color parts, there are colorful floral parts are there. These colorful floral parts are known as a corolla. Calyx and corolla are non-essential. Then there the stalk, another organ presence. These organs are known as a androecium. They are called as a androecium. Androecium contains two parts. It contains two parts. The upper part, this one, is known as an anther. It is known as an anther, and the stalk of androecium is called as a filament. Androecium made up of these two parts, anther and filament. Then the next innermost there are five or more androecium there. Then in the center there is another part. This is known as a gynoecium. Gynoecium contains three parts. Okay, this one is the gynoecium. The upper part of gynoecium, it is called as a stigma. Okay, then the stalk is called as a style. And at the basal swollen part is there. This swollen part of this gynoecium is third part is that is called as the ovary. Okay, this is known as the ovary. In this way, Gynoecium. Androecium made of two parts, gynoecium made of the three parts. Okay. So let's see separately in a androecium and in gynoecium. Androecium. If we take the diagram of, see the diagram of androecium. See, this is the androecium. This part of androecium is the anther. This anther contain the two lobes. These two lobes are called as the pollen lobes. They are called as the pollen lobes. Inside these pollen lobes, the rounded, minute size part that they are called as the pollen grains. They are called as the pollen grains. These pollen grains are take part in a sexual reproduction. These pollen grains. Then the second part is the gynoecium. Gynoecium contains, see, this part of gynoecium is a stigma. This stigma is a sticky part, sticky. Then pollen grains from anther, these pollen grains are transferred on the stigma. It's transferred on the stigma. This transformation of pollen grains from anther to the stigma, that transformation of pollen grains is known as a pollination. It is known as a pollination. It occurs with the help of some biotic factors or abiotic factors. It occurs with the help of a biotic and the abiotic factors. Means some insects like butterfly, honeybee, beetles, or some water, air. That factors help to carry these pollen grains from anther to the stigma. Stigma is the sticky parts. So when it falling on the stigma here, due to the sticky substance, pollen grains is developed and it forms the tubes. These tubes enter into the gynoecium through their style. Okay, this is known as a pollen tube. This pollen tube enter into the ovary. Okay, see, this one is the ovary which contain nucleus and the egg cell and antipodal cells. These are the antipodal, these are the egg cell, and this one is the polar nucleus. What happens when pollen tape develops? That pollen tape carry two nuclei. It carry two nuclei. The pollen tube bursts and enter into the tubes, enter into the ovary. These two nuclei then enter into this egg cell. Here one nuclei fuse with this egg cell and second nuclei fuse with this second male gametes unites with the polar nuclei. Means two nuclei fuse in an ovary with the two different places. Okay, this fusions of nuclei is called the fertilization. That means in this ovary, the nuclei are fertilized at the two different places. So the fertilization of flower is called as a double fertilization. It is known as a double fertilization. Okay, this is the important process take place in a plant, double fertilization. Okay, then after fertilization, double fertilization, then this ovary develop into fruit. It develop into fruit. that fruit contain seeds. That fruit contain seeds. Okay. Then in our ovary, ovules are there. Ovules develop into seeds, and remaining part develop into fruits. These seeds, when fall upon ground or in a soil, what happens? In what in water, because of water, in a ground or in soil, seeds germinate. Seeds germinate, and here the zygote present in the cell. Zygote is present. That zygote develop into the plantlet, plantlet. During development of this zygote, in a seeds, endosperm is present. In a seed, what is present? Endosperm. That endosperm provide energy to the zygote. Okay, and when zygote develop into plant, at that time it form the stem and also from the root into the soil. This formation of plantlets from seeds, this process is called as a germination. This process is called as a germination. In this way, in a plant, by asexual reproduction, the seeds are developed, and that seeds develop into the plantlet. Next period we will see the sexual reproduction in human being. Thank you.